As the moons aligned, an unnatural shadow stretched across the emerald canopy, chilling the hearts of every primate living in the treetops. Kiri, the young warrior from the previous trials, looked at the fading sun, sensing an ancient evil stirring in the Valley of the Forgotten. The elders gathered at the great banyan, their murmurs like dry leaves, speaking of the Shadow King's return from the obsidian pits. A messenger arrived, panting and wounded, bringing news of the southern tribes falling to the dark influence of the void. Kiri stepped forward, his eyes burning with a new resolve, vowing to find the legendary Staff of the Sun to break the curse. The journey began at the Whispering Falls, where the water flowed upward, defying the laws of the mundane world. He was joined by Mira, a clever scout from the Silverback clan, whose knowledge of the hidden paths was unrivaled. Together, they crossed the Bridge of Sighs, a narrow vine suspended over a bottomless, mist-filled chasm. Deep in the foggy marsh, they encountered the Mud Dwellers, a tribe of monkeys who had adapted to life in the swamp. The Mud Dweller chief demanded a trial of strength before allowing them passage through the treacherous wetlands. Kiri did not fight with malice, but with a grace that mimicked the flow of the wind, impressing the marsh warriors. Having earned their respect, the Mud Dwellers gifted Kiri a pendant made of sunstone, a fragment of the ancient staff. As they climbed the crags of despair, the air grew thin, and the shadow creatures began to manifest from the darkness. Mira used her agility to lure the shadows away, allowing Kiri to reach the entrance of the Sky Temple. The Sky Temple was carved from a single piece of white marble, glowing against the pitch-black sky of the eclipse. Inside, Kiri found the Chamber of Mirrors, where he had to face his own fears and doubts made manifest. His reflection turned into a dark version of himself, representing the temptation to rule through fear rather than love. By letting go of his pride, Kiri shattered the illusion, and the path to the inner sanctum opened. In the sanctum of the sanctum sat the golden staff of the sun, pulsing with the heartbeat of the forest. As Kiri grasped the staff, a surge of solar energy raced through his veins, transforming his fur into shimmering gold. But the Shadow King arrived, a massive ape wreathed in black flames, seeking to claim the staff for himself. The temple shook as the two titans clashed, light against darkness, at the very peak of the world. Kiri realized that the staff's power was not for destruction, but for restoration, and he struck the ground with a rhythmic thud. A wave of pure sunlight erupted from the temple, washing over the jungle and dissolving the shadow creatures into mist. The Shadow King let out a final roar before being sealed back into the obsidian pits by the golden light. With the eclipse broken, the sun shone brighter than ever before, signaling the dawn of a new era for all primates. Kiri returned to the Great Banyan, not as a warrior, but as the rightful king of the treetops. He called for a grand assembly, uniting the mountain, marsh, and forest tribes under one single banner of peace. Mira was appointed as the High Scout, her bravery honored by a crown of silver leaves. The jungle began to flourish with magical fruits that granted the monkeys wisdom and long life. Kiri established the code of the canopy, ensuring that the strong would always protect the weak. The ruins of the Shadow King's fortress were overgrown with flowers, turning a place of death into a garden of life. Every year, the tribes gathered to celebrate the Festival of Light, remembering the day the shadow was defeated. Kiri often sat at the highest peak, watching over his kingdom with the golden staff resting by his side. A new threat appeared on the horizon, not from shadows, but from the sea, as strange wooden vessels approached the shore. Kiri knew his work was never done, for a king's duty is to protect his people from all who would do them harm. He gathered his most trusted advisors, preparing to meet the newcomers with both strength and diplomacy. The legend of the primate kings spread far and wide, reaching the ears of humans who lived beyond the great waters.
The golden staff pulsed one last time, a silent promise that as long as Kiri held it, the jungle would remain free.
The rise of the primate king was complete, but the story of the Golden Tribe had only just begun.